Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, a very warm welcome to the evaluation session. Thank you. I'm sure on Monday, Republic Day, most of you would have been glued to the TV watching our Republic Day parade. In fact, I was, definitely. And I was really floored by the march past by our armed forces. I think I might find a similar reaction from almost all of you. I think it was a result of, as Nikhil put it, practice, practice and practice. Hours of them, or probably weeks after weeks. And that, I think, is a good benchmark for excellence. And excellence is something that we should strive in whatever we do. That should be our motive and objective in life. In fact, we have all gathered here for one basic objective: to improve upon our communication skills. It's not that we do not know how to communicate. We all do. But we definitely look forward to improve upon our communication, to better it, and in other words, striving to really excel in it. And one of the most important and necessities in excelling or to reach there is feedback. Feedback, they say, is the breakfast for champions. And it is sure to lead you to excellence. In fact, it is like a signpost that always keeps you on track towards excellence. And this is what we do here during our Toastmasters meeting, during the evaluation session. So that it is very unique in the Toastmasters movement, and it adds a lot of value to everybody here. So I look forward to all of you having a great time during this evaluation session here. Now let us move towards the evaluation portion of the meeting. We have the Sergeant of Arms, I think, who was given the role at the last moment possibly, Mohammad Mujasim, who of course is a veteran in our club in terms of having done this role earlier. So here was Mohammad Mujasim, who took up the role at the last moment as Sergeant at Arms, and I think the room was ready for the meeting at 6:30. And I really like the way you, in a very unique way, asked the audience to keep their mobile on a silent mode, and you have a good sense of humor, and you definitely put it to good use in doing that. A few suggestions that, if I can please give, is that the meeting actually started at 6:33, which was slightly late, and I think as Sergeant at Arms, you have a very important role to ensure that the meeting starts on time. So that is something that you can take away from this meeting and improve upon. And I saw the door was open. In fact, there were people walking in. There were several people in the audience still conversing. So it would have been better if you would have probably called everybody's attention, made sure that the door is closed before starting off the meeting. That is something that could have been done. And of course, a picture of Dr. Ralph Medley was also missing, which is quite important during a club meeting. And I felt our president definitely required a little more, a better way of introduction, and probably a resounding introduction would have been good. In fact, you had almost invited Joseph Das onto the lectern. That's fine. All the same, I think it was a last moment substitution that he had to do for Mahavir, who was to be here. So I think it's a very good job done. and the way you came up at that moment to take up. A big round of applause for. Coming to our president, Mr. Toastmaster Prakash Francis, as usual, he welcomed the guests very warmly and with his open arms, as usual. And the message that you gave through the story of Weldon Long was really inspiring and touching. In fact, you are what you think all day long. And habits can lead to excellence is something that most of us would never forget. I think you put it very well, and thanks a lot for that. And then you also shared your personal experience of taking up running to kick the habit of smoking. So I think that connected very well with the audience, and that is very good when you match another anecdote with your own personal experience. So I think you did very well in that, Prakash. One suggestion that I gave was when you had the guests still standing up and you asked the committee members to stand, I think most of the guests may not have known who the committee members were. So you probably could have asked the guests to sit down and then ask the committee members to stand up so that they could identify them more clearly. But otherwise, I think it's a very good presidential address, and the message that you delivered was fantastic. A big round of applause. The President had called upon our Secretary Sahil Jain to read the minutes of the meeting. And Sahil, I think I found you very enthusiastic and energetic when you came up here on the lectern. You had a smile on your face, because I do understand that reading the minutes of the meeting is quite drab and not so very interesting, but you still had a lot of energy and that smile on your face. And you had good eye contact. I think in one of your previous meetings, I heard the general evaluator giving you that feedback, and I think you really worked on that, and we could see that there was a lot of eye contact with the audience. I think that is a wonderful presentation of the meeting, minutes of the meeting. Now, one small suggestion that I can give is that you had this, which I generally see a lot of secretaries mentioning that earlier also, about he gave his CC2, he gave his so-and-so gave his CC7. Now, CC2 and CC7, they are manuals actually. So maybe, telling that gave a speech from CC2 manual would be a long sentence. You could cut it short and at least gave a CC2 speech, at least that. Rather than he just gave a CC2 or so-and-so gave a CC7. That is something that you could improve upon. I think otherwise it's a wonderful presentation of the minutes of the meeting, and a big round of applause. Now, I've been a member of this Toastmasters Club for a very long time, and whenever I have been here, and incidentally this is the first time that I have been a general evaluator, so whenever the general evaluators used to come up on stage, and they always say that, okay, the next in line for the evaluation would be the Toastmaster of the day. They always say, okay, that would be reserved for the last portion of the evaluation. And I do understand why now being the general evaluator, because I think it's a very important role in the meeting, and I think we need to save the best for the last. So I would have the evaluation of the Toastmasters at the end. And we shall now move on to the evaluations of today's prepared speech. Our first speech was an icebreaker by Toastmaster Abhinav, and our first evaluator is Toastmaster Pramukh. I request Pramukh to come over here for the evaluation. Please help me welcome Pramukh.